Burton Agnes Hall, a magnificent Elizabethan manor nestled in the rolling Yorkshire wolds of England, was renowned not just for its stunning architecture, but for its chilling centerpiece, the Screaming Skull. Legend had it that the skull belonged to Katherine Griffith, a young heiress brutally murdered in the 17th century, whose dying wish to have her head remain in her beloved home was defied, unleashing a relentless and terrifying haunting. For Dr. Helen Thorne, an uncompromising bio-archaeologist determined to prove the skull's authenticity and, more importantly, to scientifically explain the alleged paranormal phenomena, this Halloween was a pivotal moment. She was given exclusive access to the hall, aiming to conduct a battery of forensic tests on the skull itself, believing that its screaming and moving were merely mechanical anomalies or misinterpretations of natural phenomena. Helen, whose scientific rigor was matched only by her skepticism, dismissed the generations of local folklore as charming but unfounded superstition. She believed in material evidence, not spectral whispers. Her team, a pair of equally pragmatic forensic students, Leo and Chloe, shared her scientific discipline. They arrived at Burton Agnes Hall on the evening of October 31st, the Yorkshire air sharp and carrying the earthy scent of autumn fields and ancient stone. The hall itself, with its ornate gables and towering chimneys, stood as a stoic monument to centuries of history, yet a palpable sense of unease seemed to emanate from its very foundations. A scattering of carved pumpkins, their glowing orange faces casting dancing shadows, adorned the entrance to the great hall, a festive gesture by the current owners. But their light seemed to flicker with an unnatural intensity in the deepening twilight. Their designated study area was the Long Gallery, a grand, oak-paneled room where the Screaming Skull was enshrined within a glass case. This room was the epicenter of the hall's supernatural claims, famous for sudden temperature drops, disembodied cries, and the inexplicable movement of objects. Helen meticulously set up her specialized equipment: acoustic sensors, vibration monitors, atmospheric pressure gauges, and a high-resolution 3D scanner to document the skull's every-minute detail. A single battery-operated jack-o'-lantern, its orange LED flickering steadily, sat on a nearby antique chest, a practical light source among the sophisticated gadgets. Hours passed. The initial data was frustratingly inconclusive. Acoustic sensors picked up nothing but the creaking of the old house. Vibration monitors registered only the distant rumble of traffic, and atmospheric pressure remained stable. Helen, her voice calm and analytical, began her video log. "As expected," she stated, adjusting her protective gloves, "the Long Gallery, despite its notorious reputation, presents no evidence of unusual physical phenomena. The Screaming Skull, in all likelihood, is a macabre relic. Its screams, a product of overactive imaginations. But as the clock's ancient chimes echoed midnight, marking the shift to All Hallows Day, a profound and undeniable shift occurred. The temperature in the Long Gallery plummeted so rapidly that Helen could see her breath. Her thermal camera flared with an icy blue. Then the glass case containing the Screaming Skull began to vibrate violently. A low, guttural moan, laden with immense pain and fury, emanated from the skull itself, gradually rising in volume, growing into a blood-curdling scream that vibrated through their very bones. The air grew thick with a pungent scent of damp earth, decaying roses, and something sharp, like old iron, the Screaming Skull, its empty eye sockets now glowing with an intense, pulsating orange light, began to levitate within its glass case. The vibrations intensified, causing objects around the gallery, ancient tapestries, heavy portraits, ornate furniture, to tremble and shift. Helen froze, her scientific composure utterly shattered by a primal wave of terror. This was not a mechanical anomaly. This was intelligent. This was Katherine Griffith, and her oath was alive. Who are you?" Helen stammered, clutching her recording device. The skull, still screaming, did not speak with words. Instead, a torrent of vivid, horrifying images flooded Helen's mind. A young woman, beautiful and vibrant, strolling through the hall's gardens, admiring the roses. A sudden ambush, the glint of a knife, the shocking pain of a fatal wound. She saw herself, Katherine, bleeding, crawling back to her beloved home, uttering a desperate plea to her sister. "Let my head remain in this house, or my spirit will find no peace." She saw her sister, heartbroken, making a solemn vow. Then the betrayal. Her sister, pressured by distant relatives seeking to sever all ties to the murder, burying Katherine's head in a churchyard miles away. And finally, the torment, Katherine's spirit, enraged and betrayed, returning to the hall, bound by an unbreakable oath, forever screaming, forever seeking justice against those who denied her dying wish, those who allowed her memory to be desecrated, and those who sought to exploit her tragedy. The pumpkins outside, she realized, were not just festive. They were the ephemeral, glowing visages of the castle's past victims, their orange light mimicking Katherine's spectral rage. Drawn to the hall on this night, the images clarified a horrifying truth. Katherine Griffith's spirit was not merely haunting the hall. It was the hall. It was the essence of its violated sanctity made manifest. And on Halloween, when the veil thinned and the blood moon shone, her collective anguish reached its zenith, demanding fulfillment of her oath, demanding a return of her head, or a horrifying reprisal for its eternal desecration. Her simple jack-o'-lantern, intended as a symbol of comfort, now felt like a taunt, its light echoing the orange glow of their tormented eyes. The long gallery grew colder, thicker with unseen presences. Helen felt phantom hands, icy and skeletal, pulling at her hair, tearing at her clothes. Leo and Chloe huddled together, whimpering. The vibration monitors screamed, their needles vibrating off the charts. The disembodied cries intensified, a chorus of agony and demand filling her mind. My head! My head? Restore my peace. Fulfill the oath. The screaming skull, still levitating, slowly turned its empty eye sockets towards Helen. The pulsating orange light intensified, radiating an overwhelming aura of sorrow and rage. It seemed to demand direct action, a physical restitution. Helen, caught between terror and a sudden, profound understanding, fought against the mental intrusion. She recalled an obscure historical footnote, a rumor that Katherine's body had been secretly moved back to the hall's grounds centuries later by a sympathetic descendant, buried beneath a specific ancient oak tree. But her head remained missing, its whereabouts unknown. The local folklore suggested that only a complete reunion of her remains, specifically on Halloween night, could finally break the curse and bring her peace. The unbreakable oath was not just about the head remaining in the house, but about the integrity of her final resting place, which had been desecrated. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, Helen broke free from the mental hold. "Your head!" she gasped, pointing a trembling finger at the skull. It was moved. "But your body is here. We can reunite you." The screaming skull's intense orange glow flickered violently. The horrific scream softened to a low, mournful wail, filled with a profound, ancient longing. The levitation ceased, and the skull gently lowered back into its glass case, its orange light now pulsing with a desperate plea rather than fury. Helen, her bio-archaeology instincts kicking in, began to scan the ground beneath the oak paneling with her advanced ground-penetrating radar, searching for an anomaly, a subterranean burial site that the legend had hinted at. Leo, despite his fear, joined her, recalibrating the scanners. Chloe, though still trembling, focused on the acoustic sensors, whose erratic spikes now seemed to guide their search towards the exact location. The phantom tugs continued, but less with malevolence, more with a desperate, pleading urgency for completion. They found it. Beneath a particularly ancient oak panel, concealed by layers of centuries-old flooring, was a small, lead-lined casket. It was old, weathered, and etched with the Griffith family crest. As they carefully opened it, A faint golden light emanated from within. Inside, nestled on a bed of dried roses and ancient herbs, lay a skeletal, headless body, perfectly preserved. This was Katherine's body, the missing piece of the puzzle. And just as the clock struck 3 a.m., the traditional hour of ghostly activity, they understood. The spectral Katherine Griffith, previously raging, now appeared in the long gallery, her form shimmering with increasing intensity, bathed in a soft, golden light that replaced the menacing orange. She pointed towards the casket, then to her skull. Her silent voice echoed in their minds, now filled with profound relief. Reunion, her thoughts resonated. My head, my body, peace. As Helen and her team carefully took the screaming skull from its case and gently placed it back atop the skeletal body in the casket, a remarkable transformation occurred. The skull's orange glow completely faded, replaced by a radiant, pure golden light that enveloped the entire casket. The faint, ghostly orange lights that had flickered from the hall's windows and the pumpkins outside now also softened to a gentle golden hue, then slowly extinguished, their purpose fulfilled. The castle's oppressive cold vanished, replaced by a profound, comforting warmth. The EMF detectors and vibration monitors fell silent. The spectral Katherine Griffith stood over her reunited remains, her form now completely defined, less ethereal, her face serene, no longer contorted by grief or rage. She looked at Helen, a faint, peaceful smile gracing her translucent lips, a smile of profound gratitude and a liberation that had been centuries in the making. Then, with a final silent nod, she dissolved into countless shimmering golden particles that drifted upwards, through the magnificent vaulted ceiling, ascending into a celestial light, finally finding her eternal rest. Emerging from Burton Agnes Hall at dawn, Helen Vance was a changed woman. Her scientific logic had been confronted by an undeniable truth. The universe held mysteries far beyond rational explanation. Her initial project, to debunk the hauntings, had instead led to a profound understanding and, unexpectedly, to a spiritual act of reunification and peace. She cancelled her proposed paper on mechanical anomalies. Instead, working with Leo and Chloe, and with the support of the Historical Trust, she published The Screaming Skull's Silence, Katherine Griffith's Unbroken Oath, detailing not just the forensic findings on the skull, but the heartbreaking story of Katherine's betrayal, her enduring curse, and the eventual peace brought by their discovery. She advocated for the permanent interment of Katherine's reunited remains beneath the ancient oak, ensuring her presence was one of quiet guardianship, not tormented rage. From that Halloween forward, the aggressive hauntings at Burton Agnes Hall ceased entirely. Visitors reported a palpable sense of peace in the long gallery, a gentle, protective presence rather than a menacing one. The hall, once a monument to fear, became a testament to an unbreakable oath that finally found its fulfillment. And Dr. Helen Thorne, the once uncompromising bio-archaeologist, became an unlikely guardian of its spectral history, ensuring that on every Halloween, the tragic tale of Katherine Griffith and her screaming skull was remembered, not as a mere ghost story, but as a poignant narrative of eternal commitment and, finally, a hard-won peace. The jack-o'-lanterns at Burton Agnes Hall now burned with a gentle, consistent orange glow, symbols of both Halloween's magic and a spirit at rest.